Jason Lim from District 3350. Well, the membership seminar yesterday is good, but I would suggest put some topics on retention, because yesterday are all best practice in recruitment. What about retention? That is some things that very important. And other things that I would like to suggest is not only the best practice. What about the obstacles? You know, sometimes if we only look at the good part without looking at the bad part, you know, it may not be complete. So this is only a suggestion. Now, as for the foundation, I like the Rotary ideas. But there is some things that the trustees has to think about it, because there's no control. Money goes direct to the club. What if the clubs misuse? We are brought up. Can the TRIF take care of it? Money goes into the Rotary Foundation, then from Rotary Foundation sent to the club. Because we are talking about stewardship. If you go direct to the club, there's no stewardship. Nobody can check. You know, it's not that we are not trusting our Rotarians, but sometimes just because of one black sheep, it tarnished the whole Rotary image. That is some things that I want to comment. Last but not least, just now I was listening regarding asking a comment from past senior leaders to another senior leaders. I think that is not appropriate, because I believe that every leaders have their own ways of doing things, you know. So it's very difficult to ask a new leader to comment on a past leader. And in fact, yesterday, past President Pichai Ratakun, he is one of my senior mentors. I love his speech. He did not say it is wrong on the new style of recruitment. I think when a senior leader gives a speech, sometimes it's our perception. It's just like a coin. There's a few sides of view. It depending on how are we going to analyze it and make full use of it, you know. And I remember Pichai Ratakun said, can this solve the problem? And he says, back to the basics. And this I remember since I was a club president. My RI presidents, Ray Clinking Smith, already says back to basics. And we have to go, what we have to do is new method mixed with the back to basics. That will be perfect. That is my comment. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I think his first part, would you like to answer? Somebody from the part of the funds? Yes.
You know, I know this is not a question, but for Jason, because he's talking about the retention is very important, but I just want to remind, I remember last year, the past President Ron Burton requested all the governors last year, when you open your front door, but don't forget to close your back door. Yeah, so I think all for retention we should care how our Rotarian in the club, how we can offer the good service and of course also good fellowship. It's just my suggestion for
Thank you, Trustee Yen.
Thank you. Interesting comment from Jason about retention. That's not a foundation issue, but I'd like to throw in my comment anyway. President Gary touched on this a short time ago in regard to the fact that we have 1.2 million members, but they're not the same 1.2 million members we had previously. When people leave our organisation, they're clearly doing so because they are apprehensive, apathetic or disenchanted with their experience for whatever reason. Hence the reason we have to be conscious of the need for all Rotary clubs, and that's the only way you can be a Rotarian, you're a member of a Rotary club. All clubs have to look to their own backyard, look to their game, ensure that what they're providing as a facility, as an experience for people, is as good as it can possibly be. It's really easy to look beyond your own club and be critical of hierarchies, etc. We all have to look in our own backyard as well. Now, in regard to Jason's question about stewardship on the Rotary Foundation, I am delighted that he thinks that we don't have enough stewardship. That balances the hundreds of people who say to me that the foundation is much too strict on how we expend our funds. That also shows me that you can't satisfy everybody, and I'm pleased about that. If a Rotary district, and therefore the clubs donate to the district, if they expend their district designated fund, there is a very careful process to determine how that is spent. And I think it's perfectly adequate. Secondly, I mentioned in passing the other day about the cadre of Rotary advisors. They are around the Rotary world checking all the time on the veracity of expenditure on behalf of the Rotary Foundation. Let me assure you that there is a lot of stewardship.
Thank you. I would like to answer the question about retention. So RI couldn't offer a solution what fits all over the world. At least it's the same, nearly the same then for new members. Clubs who are able to attract new members are also attractive for the old members. And the key is always engagement and service. If you are able to engage all your older members in service, engage them in fellowship, and all these makes our wonderful organization so great. I think that's the key also for retention.
Thank you. I think, Trustee Yen, the question raised about stewardship was not the actual issue. I was in the workshop with Jason yesterday. I think the RI staff did an excellent presentation on the Rotary Club Central, and it took us through all the many areas. And one area of concern was on idea exchange. In the idea exchange part of it, where you post in your projects and you seek for ideas and the cost of the projects, the fundings can come from all over the place, and the fundings are paid towards the PayPal system. We were made to understand that there is an administrative charge from the PayPal system before the money actually goes to the clubs or to the person requesting the particular support for that particular project. But what is of concern is how much of control has the clubs have or the organization have if we were to use the PayPal system. So that was actually one of that area that Jason was actually trying to reach. Thank you. Any comment?
Yes, I'm gazing across towards the very back corner where I see Bruce Allen and others. I'd like to look at that issue from a detailed perspective, and possibly you and I can discuss and refer it on to Jason as well.
We'll do that.